Something's gone wrong with the way we're meant to organise our lives. We've lost sight of what it means to be human. We've built vast, complicated bureaucratic machines to run government, to run education, welfare, health. And huge, ruthless global corporations dominate our economies. People feel they can't control the things that matter. This is much bigger than any one government or party. All governments for years have been trying to get results out of a system that is fundamentally broken and out of date. We need to replace that system with something that is much more human, where the people making the decisions are closer to those affected by them. We need to take power and put it directly in people's hands. And that is just the start. For most of human history, all politics, as the saying goes, was local. It had to be. It was literally impossible for things to be organised any other way. When it took weeks for a letter to get from A to B, a central ruler didn't have much control over day-to-day life. But all that changed with modern warfare. The notion of all-reaching government bureaucracy was born. Soon, it spread to the private sector too, with industrialization and the birth of the modern, vast, standardized corporation. The 20th century saw the growth and then dominance of the centralized, uniform way of doing things. In industry, in schools, in healthcare, the factory method took over. That's what we're living with today. People are questioning the role of government, business, even capitalism like never before. It all seems too big, industrialized and distant. If we want real change in society, it's not enough to change the policies. We've got to change the whole system. Look at one of the biggest issues of our time. How is it that we can spend hundreds of billions every year on poverty and still have poor people? Here in San Francisco, in one of the poorest neighborhoods in America, pediatrician Nadine Burke-Harris is taking on the one-size-fits-all approach of the state's social services.
It sets one standard, and then it asks folks, everyone to come and meet that standard. And if you can meet it, great. And if you can't, then you're left behind. The big challenge with that is that for so many families, and especially in very challenged communities, there are unique circumstances that make it difficult for people and for families to succeed.
Nadine's team seeks to identify all the separate problems a child might face, whether at home, at school, with their health or their diet. Instead of seeing it from the point of view of existing structures, she sees it through the eyes of the individual family. So to treat a sick child whose mother is a victim of violence, the pediatrician cares for the mother too.
The mom of one of my patients said to me, "Your team has taken such good care of me, and if it weren't for them, I don't know where I would be. I would probably be sitting on a street corner somewhere drinking." And that approach, that difference in being able to recognize what families need and get to the heart of the matter, for us, that's what it's all about.
Ministers and civil servants and advisors like I used to be sit in offices far away and dream up schemes to try and solve problems. We mean well, but we can't hope to understand the nuances of different people and places and what they need. It's not just government. Companies can be inhuman too. Look at the banks who put financial wheeler dealing before the needs of people. Or the supermarkets who put small farmers out of business. Or the giant industrialized food system churning out toxic junk that makes us sick and tortures animals. You can see why people are angry at business, but it's not as simple as you might think. There's a central point being missed here. It's not about being pro or anti-business, pro or anti-capitalism. It's about the type of business. The truth is, many big companies have become private sector bureaucracies that use their dominant market power to keep new competitors out, to exploit their workers, their suppliers, their customers, and society as a whole. We're destroying nature with overdevelopment, and we're destroying childhood with overprotection. Yet we turn a blind eye to the deeply damaging impact of commercialization and sexualization. We dream of a simpler life, but live in places that are a hassle to get around, ruined by ugly buildings that make people miserable. So where could we start when it comes to change?
Let's have devolution, but do it properly, everywhere, with decision-making at the lowest possible level. Mayors in every town and city with real powers. Surely it's time to dismantle the abusive market power of the big banks, the big supermarkets and the big utilities. And when it comes to public services, let's close down the factory schools and the factory hospitals and replace them with things that treat people as, well, people.
All these things, the problems with government, the problems with business, the problems with our society, can be traced back to a simple point. We're losing sight of how to do things on a human scale. That's why we need a big shake-up, a real revolution. It's time to make the world more human.